I've got my Goofy Movie ears on today, I have my Goofy Movie shirt on today, I have my Goofy Movie lunchbox with me because today I'm going to share my Goofy Movie Disney pin collection. This is a collection that I've so far only shown in my latest entire Disney pin collection video, so I finally get to do a dedicated video for it, and I think it's fitting because Goofy Movie is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. A Goofy Movie was released in 1995. I was born in 92, so I grew up with the Goofy Movie. I've always loved the movie. The songs in it are not just some of the best Disney songs, but just some of the best songs in general. And it's been so great with this kind of kick up of 90s nostalgia that a Goofy Movie has had a bit of a resurgence, because for a very, very long time, there were kind of just like no Goofy Movie pins. And so it's really just more as of late that I've actually been able to acquire a kind of decent sized Goofy Movie pin collection and have that to show off now. So let's go on and check out some Goofy Movie pins. I wanted to start off with the newest additions to my Goofy Movie pin collection, and this is a 3-pin set from Mondo. A subscriber, Lori, was so incredibly kind and sent these along to me, so I'm really excited to be able to add these to my collection. So these Mondo pins are officially licensed Disney pins. These are all done in a soft enamel style, and this first one features Powerline in this kind of cool teal starburst cutout background. Then there's this really neat, what I guess I'd kind of describe as like a Powerline logo pin. I love the color scheme of this so much. It's kind of reminiscent of like Powerline stage setup. And then the final Mondo pin is a representation of the iconic Hi Dad soup. So thank you so much again to Lori for sending along these 3 pins. Next up is a pin featuring Max Goof dressed as Powerline, and this is from the Disney store. This is from their kind of semi-recent Oh My Disney Flair sets where they included like 2 pins and a few buttons. This was from the 90s set, and I really like the kind of stylized artistic interpretation of the design. Then we have an actual Powerline as Powerline pin, and this is an open edition from the Disney parks. This came out sometime within about the last year. What's kind of interesting is his outfit is much more of like a bright lime green as opposed to kind of the standard yellow, but I think the color scheme is still pretty cool. Then we're back to Max as Powerline with this pin from Box Lunch. So he's doing this kind of standard Max Powerline pose, and keep in mind what this pin looks like when I show you the next one. Cause whoa, deja vu, am I right? Here is another Max as Powerline pin that is pretty much the same artwork as the Box Lunch pin. This is from a 4-pin Disney Parks Flair set. This Max pin though has a slightly different aspect ratio than the Box Lunch, where he's kind of more smushed in the Box Lunch, and he looks, I guess, a little bit more anatomically correct in this one. I have the 3 other pins from that 4-pin Flair set. There's also just this really nice kind of simple classic Goofy Movie logo pin. Then you have this stand out pin. The design of this is kind of reminiscent of the background design for the Powerline Open Edition pin. And then the final pin from that set is for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I'm actually going to be in Pisa, Italy this summer, so I'll be able to see the real Leaning Tower of Pisa, but you know, the Leaning Tower of Pisa might be more impressive. All of the previous pins I've shown have been relatively recent releases, but this pin is actually one of the few older Goofy Movie pins. Back before there was pin trading, there were a number of Goofy Movie pins, I don't know, either released by Sedesma or as pro pins, but typically older European pins. But this Goofy Movie pin here is from the Disney store. I believe it's from their Countdown to the Millennium series where they have different movies and then the year that they were released. I love the artwork on this one where you have Goofy in his fishing gear and then Bigfoot right in the background. Then I have a few limited edition pins from the Disney parks. So this pin was just released in January. It's part of their new monthly Celebrate Today series. And apparently January 28th is National Plan for a Vacation Day. So you have Max and Goofy dressed up in their fishing gear. There's kind of like an artistic interpretation of their big road trip map in the front. And this pin is a limited edition of 4,000. Next, I have this pin, which was part of last year's iHeart Gaming monthly series. They're designed to kind of look like video game consoles, and in the center is a lenticular. And here, I guess it's kind of hard to get this on camera, but you have Goofy, Max, and Powerline all dancing on stage. Let's see, there you go. You can kind of see them move now, probably doing the perfect catch. This pin is a limited edition of 1,500. This is another limited edition pin released in the parks last year, and it really is kind of like a mini jumbo pin. It's super heavy and hefty. It's a Goofy movie designed to be like a VHS tape, so this is super, super thick. And when you open up the pin, it looks just like a real VHS inside. You have a kind of engraving of that classic Max's Powerline pose, and then really it looks like a real Goofy movie VHS tape in there. I think this VHS tape was a Disneyland exclusive release, and it is also a limited edition of 1500. I'm finally going to end this off with the 3 fantasy pins that I have, and this pin is from Fantasy Pins by Madison. If you watched my latest video talking about Disney pin scams, this creator was one of the few who stole tens of thousands of dollars in pre-sale money. So there's really no way to get any more of her pin designs unless somebody who previously bought an existing one has them. But she did a whole series of these characters side by side, kind of in these closed-eyed, dreamy pose. So you have Max in like his day-to-day life, he's got his skateboard, and then you have Max as Powerline. I also have the matching pin for that, which features Roxanne. So this is kind of flipped in terms of which is the dream and which is the reality. We have Roxanne in the sparkly dress. That's kind of from the beginning dream scene in the field. And then we have Roxanne at school. So I actually have a number of these side-by-side pins from Fantasy Pins by Madison. What she's done and how much money she's stolen has really kind of put a damper on the pins that I have. But this whole series was done by an artist, Lacey, so I'll instead think of them as like nice designs by Lacey. And then this final pin has to be my favorite Goofy movie pin that I own and my favorite fantasy pin in my entire collection. This is a Goofy movie cluster pin by Daddy-O Does Disney. She does a whole big series of fantasy pins styled kind of similar to the WDI cluster pins. And this one for a Goofy movie is just beyond stunning. The quality and detail is unreal. I love how many characters that are fit on this. And we even have an appearance from the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Like, this truly is legit such an incredible pin. Since the talk about Madison was such a downer, I'm gonna link to Jackie, the creator of this series, her Instagram. I'm already in the Wally cluster pre-sale, and I think I should be able to get some of her other Pixar clusters. So she so far has been a really awesome and trustworthy fantasy pin maker. And then I also had to share the back of this pin because the back stamp is the Hi Dad Soup. So I know compared to some of my other pin collection and pin collection videos, this isn't a whole bunch of pins. It's still kind of at the level of, you know, a moderate small collection, but I really hope that Disney is going to continue to put out more Goofy movie pins and merchandise. I know they're doing a special D23 movie event for the 25th anniversary in a few cities, but nowhere near Phoenix, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, I can throw my own Goofy movie celebration party right here by myself. I'd love to know if you also really like to collect Goofy movie pins. Hopefully they will come out with more things branded and related to the 25th anniversary. But if you've never seen a Goofy movie, hopefully this video inspires you to check it out and hopefully fall in love with it like I have. But thanks for watching!